What is good, guys? It's your boy Ray J back with another video, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about where I think Tesla is going to be going over the next couple of days. I'm going to talk about where it's going to go next week and Monday based off technical analysis and what is probably going to happen. I'm also going to be talking about our other favorite company out there, and it is NIO, what has been said about NIO over the weekend, and how that may affect the share price on Monday. But before I get started, I have to mention two quick things. First of all, I'm not a financial, legal, or taxation expert, so don't think this is financial, legal, or taxation advice. Also, if you can, please smash that like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only for me, but for the entire community as a whole. Helps more people learn about their favorite stocks, their conviction, and more other great things just like that. With that said and done, guys, let's get on with what is happening to Tesla. So, as you could see on Friday, Tesla was down over 2.46%, down to $736.27. It was a little bit sad that this did happen, but you guys have to remember that September tends to not be a great month for Tesla. That's one thing. But another big factor is that the overall market, the stock market as a whole, had a massive red day. So even the entire crypto market was red. Why? Because there's been a lot of news out there that the market crash, a huge correction is about to happen. Now, that doesn't mean that the market sucks, that the stock market is horrible. That's not what I'm insinuating. I'm simply stating that it is very probable, based off the Warren Buffett indicator, that we could see a big correction coming very soon. Maybe it'll happen in the upcoming weeks, maybe in the upcoming months. But I just want you guys to be very prepared for that. So if Tesla has red days just like this, it's not necessarily Tesla's fault. It's based off, things that are outside of Tesla's control. It's how the entire stock market as a whole works. But as you guys know, guys, I still have to say the same thing, and that is Tesla is a long-term play. We simply give it time, which is why I'm still bullish for Tesla in the long run future. So even though the next week may be unpredictable, I'm not going to give you my prediction just yet. I'm going to do it a little bit later. But before I go into specific details, let's go over some news that came out. So basically, Tesla did get some criticism for launching Tesla on tribal land, but at the same time, there have been good articles out there, such as Elon Musk drives through loophole by launching Tesla on tribal land. And it basically opened its first facility in New Mexico, which is actually absolutely awesome for the company as a whole in terms of its fundamentals and all that good stuff. Also, guys, when Tesla is expanding to New Mexico, it basically means that they're going to be able to sell cars to third-party dealerships as well, and that could be even good for Tesla as a whole. Now, I'm not necessarily going to say it's the greatest news out there, because this could lead to controversy in the future, but at the same time, it's a-okay. It's all right, guys, because Tesla is still doing well. It's still looking great, and the future is very bright, even with these things going on. It also mentioned that, let me close that right there, something about Tesla's Model S Plaid run doesn't sit right. So that's more FUD, uncertainty, and doubt that is out there. There's so much fear. There's so many lies that are coming out about Tesla. They're basically saying that Tesla's Model S Plaid, it went through a race course and it actually broke the record by 12 seconds, I believe. It basically set a time of 7 minutes and 30.9 seconds. However, the old record was 7 minutes and 42 seconds. So, with that said, guys, a lot of people are criticizing and saying that something did not seem right about it. There is a lot of FUD out there. But once again, guys, the Tesla Model S Plaid is absolutely awesome. I mean, it has a model that can do over 1020 in horsepower. I mean, it's 0 to 60 times like 1.9 seconds or somewhere around there. It's amazing. It's an amazing car full of power. So do not let all these negative articles out there scare you into basically running away. But with that said and done, guys, let's look at this piece of news that came out just today. It states that Dennis proposed a new 12,500 electric car rebate. Tesla left with 4,500 disadvantage. So that is a little bit negative news out there as the rebates are coming. Basically, it says right over here, it would remove the limit on the number of vehicles and replace it with a timeline, introduce a higher payout to $12,500 and make it a point of sale. But there are also new restrictions that would put Tesla at a $4,500 disadvantage. So there is new news that did come out. Basically, the current program has many flaws. The main one is that it caps the 7,500 tax credit to 200,000 vehicles, and that's not really good for Tesla, because the second biggest problem is that the incentive takes the form of a 7,500 tax credit, which requires you to have the equivalent federal tax burden, and it only applies to your new taxes. So basically, there are more regulations coming out, harder things coming. There's a new It removes the 200,000 vehicles per manufacturer cap out there. So it's basically giving Tesla an additional $4,500 incentive to sell more cars, but it's making it more difficult for Tesla in that sense. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily bad. It is a little bit bad news, but sure. But I'm not necessarily bullish for the future because this 4,500 additional incentive to electric cars that are coming out of the union factories, that's one of the main issues. It has nothing to do with the reason as to why they're discounting EVs versus fossil fuel powered cars. It's out there to account for the cost to the environment and how that comes with burning gas. So I'm not going to say this is bad news. Once again, it is it is really a disadvantage. I would say the $4,500 to Tesla, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to see it as a big issue. But overall, it's a okay. Not a huge thing that's happening, but looking at the overall share price, I do think that can have a bit of a negative effect, and there is a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I do think that Monday is it's most likely going to be a green day if the market allows that. So what that means is if the overall market is having a red day once again, if the actual crash, the correction begins to continue, if it continues, Tesla's obviously going to go a little bit lower, but if it doesn't happen like that, Tesla's most definitely going to be in the green because it was getting more comfortable in the $750 range as it over the past month. It has been still stepping its way up. But looking at the 1 month chart, and the reason I brought it up is you have to remember Tesla has very strong support at the $700 range. So if Tesla were to crash because of the overall market, it's going to be a little bit tricky for it to beat 700 as its support over there is relatively strong. So that's where I would see Tesla growing at the lowest if there is a potential correction that happens. But if it doesn't happen, and it's actually a little bit unlikely that Monday is going to be a red day, I think it might be a recovery day for a lot of these stocks because a lot of it was emotion based. A lot of it was based off sentiment, not based off logic. So Tesla could quite easily come back to the $745 range, if not the 750s, if the market allows it, like I said before. And I do think it's very probable that that's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does dip just a little bit because of what's been going on in the market. But if Tesla were to actually dip specifically on Monday, I talked about the previous level of resistance, but if it were to dip, I would see it going to the 725 range. If it does go up, it should be around the 745 to $750 range. So that's where I do see Tesla going. I think it's most likely going to be in the green on Monday, but once again, I can't promise that because of the way the market is right now. When it comes to NEO, there was news that came out that I'm going to talk about. NEO was a little bit down on Friday, down 1.22%, down to $37.98. And even though NEO is a little bit down, just like Tesla, it's a long-term stock. We're in NEO for the long term. It is the future and it has massive potential as well. But looking at this piece of news out here, it says that Intel brings NEO-based robotaxis to Europe, $111 billion opportunity. So in summary, I'm not going to go over the specific details about what's happening, but in summary, what was noted was Intel Mobileye unveiled a six-person Mobileye Drive autonomous vehicle. It will operate under Movit AV branding, initially in Munich and Tel Aviv in 2022. Basically, with two European fabs, it's going to support automotive suppliers their transition from legacy to lending edge nodes in the Intel Foundry Service Accelerator program. So, what this means in English is that they may be partnering with Neo. They may be using a lot more Neo cars, a lot more parts for their potential robotaxi expansion. So, it wasn't explicitly announced that they're going to do that, but they did mention that it's possible. And based off Neo's ES8, that would make it a very good model for what they're trying to do. So this could be potential good news for Neo as it gives more and more news about how their robo taxis are going to be expanding and improving the business as a whole. However, guys, remember the market is capricious once again. If Neo were to drop on Monday, it has strong support at the, I would say, low $36 range, extremely strong support there. So it's going to be a little bit tricky for Neo to fall that low if it were to fall, but I highly doubt that. I think the lowest it could go to is the $36 range. But like I said about Tesla, I think Neo is most likely going to be a little bit in the green tomorrow, which would be Monday. I think Neo would most likely make it to the $38 range, if not the 39, and then test the level of resistance at 40 before consolidating and maybe closing around, I would say, the high $38 range. That's where I would expect NEO to go. But once again, guys, do not forget about the stock market, how it's obviously could be entering a bearish cycle. It's possible. I'm not guaranteeing it. We could be seeing a correction happening. So if it does happen, NEO can drop just with the overall market. But like I said before, guys, the way I see it is not NEO going down, not Tesla going down. It is simply our favorite stocks on sale to buy the dip. So with that said and done, guys, I want to thank you so much for listening. It has been an absolute pleasure making these videos about NEO and Tesla and talking about their futures. Now, like I said, guys, we are intelligent investors. We do not invest with just logic or emotion, but we invest with reason and what we see in the future. So it's not just, logic and emotion combined. It's more about putting your emotion aside and then focusing more on reason. So we are intelligent investors, guys. We remain patient, we remain strong, and we never ever give up on our dreams, and we just cannot quit. We keep pushing forward and we never ever quit. Thank you so much for listening, guys, once again, and I will see you on the next one. I hope you guys have a great weekend and take care. Stay strong and prepare for Monday. With that said and done, peace out.